You're listening to the Battle Belongs podcast, where real stories meet unwavering truth. This show is a space for bold conversations, powerful testimonies, and unshakable faith. In a culture at war with truth, we're here to remind you, the battle doesn't belong to us. The battle belongs to the Lord.
So, I just found out, because of your sermon, that the yolk in the Bible is indeed not an egg yolk.
Indeed, it is not. And I want to ask the question, what would you assume in that text? My yoke is easy and my burden, like, I'll place my yoke upon you. What's your interpretation?
Well, let's ask our guest, because she also had the same stupid interpretation of...
I don't know what made me think that, but I guess anytime I've ever read it, this sounds so silly. Anytime I've ever read it, I have literally imagined a woman just holding egg yolks in her hand. I don't even know why.
Sounds like a trippy dream.
Yes, literally. But I've always thought of it as an egg yolk. And then you pulled up that oxid steer, and I was like, that's not what I've been calling it all these years. So the more you know, I guess.
I love that, actually.
I mean, it makes sense.
It does.
When you were talking about that, when you were this yolk, like an egg yolk, I was thinking, Jesus just comes up and cracks an egg and just puts it on your head. And you're
you either have the egg yolk and the egg white, or somebody just has the egg yolk. You want to both have the egg yolk and egg white, you know? That's what I got from it originally.
Well, praise God.
Praise God. We figured it out.
Oh, yeah.
Godspeed to you. Did you say before we started that people thought you looked like James Charles?
People have told me that before, and I absolutely hate that comment.
I wouldn't say that's a compliment, but I don't see it at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a compliment either.
Yeah, it's not. Why would we even bring that up?
Because honestly, I thought it would just
maybe
be
we
fun
should put
to talk
makeup on
about.
you and try it out, and then we'll be able to really see.
Let's not and say we did.
That would be fun. That'd be a fun episode.
I'll do it.
Yeah. If we get
Anyway.
1,000 views on this one.
Oh, that's easy. We can make
We'll
that happen.
do PJ's makeup.
10,000 views.
But, yeah, now you're pushing it.
Yeah. But it's been a pretty busy time in our lives. First of all, to introduce Chloe.
Oh, yeah.
Chloe serves as one of the two sticky bandits.
She's my assistant.
In college ministry. So the assistant to the assistant regional manager.
I'm not your assistant. I'm your chief of staff. She is the assistant to the chief of staff
of the... Okay. Do you even watch The Office?
No.
Well,
she's
you are relevant to the conversation.
Yeah.
She's the chief of staff's chief of staff.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Chloe is a faithful member of our church and helps serve in both young adults and college ministry. Her and Seth, her husband, have been best friends with Keith Autry and Ashley for years. Seth and Keith graduated high school together, and then you're a couple years younger than...
I'm 2 years younger than all of them.
Yes. And honestly, our friendship kind of stemmed this past year. Yeah. So been super grateful for her. She's just how would I describe it? Like a mastermind behind scenes when it comes to this stuff. Yes.
Appreciate that.
Preach. And so she's the reason Coleton does so well.
Yes.
No, seriously, these two have been such a blessing and so encouraging to have. And that's the point. You said it earlier, let the church be the church. This is what it looks like. So now we had her on because Friday night we did a coffee and conversations event with our college students, and we answered just any question that they presented to us from Wednesday night, which led into so many different topics: pornography, theology, marriage, Christian life, and so all of these things. But we want to dive into biblical marriage, and we've done an episode along these lines before about the family dynamic, but we want to zone in. Chloe, you kind of sparked this one. What made you kind of say, this is something I really want to discuss?
I don't know. I guess I just have always, even growing up, I just, loved the idea of marriage, but I wasn't, I was a believer, but I wasn't, a firm, biblical believer, I guess. And I guess just growing into that in the last couple of years has made me admire marriage so much more just because of what it represents and the design of it all. I just love it and I love talking about it. I could talk about marriage all day long. So
I love that. I mean, you already have the right mindset. Seth and you were, I mean, he's very blessed to have somebody like that.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is. So where do we even begin here? Like, what's the starting place for us?
Well, I don't know. I'm not married.
But that makes you the perfect example of like why we should be starting. Like, what questions do you have?
Okay.
Okay.
So back to this
Okay,
yoke
okay.
thing,
Oh,
right?
yes.
Doesn't the Bible say that we should be equally yoked?
Yes.
It
Okay,
does.
so both of you like walk me through what that looks like. Is it actual yoke or is it an oxen yoke? And explain
I
how
believe
that
it.
ties into each other.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't want to say this wrong because I've heard examples too of the yoke placed on an oxen, one strong, one weak, where the strong one, it would be uplifting to the weak one from a farming standpoint. But when it comes to this, think about this idea that if you have one strong and one weak, so in other words, for the Christian life, it's a believer and a non-believer. One is going to pull the other in one direction, and then we all know it's much easier to pull somebody down than it is up. And so to be unequally yoked in the Christian sense here when it comes to marriage is saying that, you know, kind of like I've got one foot in the world, one foot in the word. There's no such thing as missionary dating or marriage.
Yeah.
You cannot be somebody else's God.
Absolutely.
Scripture proves that time and time again. Chloe's got her Bible open.
I'm ready to rock.
She's
son.
ready to rock. So I'll kind of let her explain, like, what is
That is a
the ideal-
massive Bible, number one.
It's a pretty good looking Bible though. Is that a custom made?
Yeah, Seth, he had for our wedding, he actually had my new name engraved on it, and then he wrote his wedding vows to me in the front.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that so sweet?
I'm a
Seth is a-
sucker for love too, so
He's that guy.
Seth's a dog.
Love him. I guess like for your question, what is an equally yoked marriage? I guess it's just like one pulling the weight of your role. Husbands are called to love their wives and serve their wives as Christ serves the church and died for the church. And then wives are called to submit to their husbands. Love them, show them grace, allow them to lead. And I just feel like when two people are pulling their weight, as in doing their roles efficiently in marriage, I feel like that's going to take you a long way as far as like equally yoked being. But it's just kind of being in the same place spiritually, mentally, physically, all those different things. And there are days when it's not like 50-50. There's days where like, I could be kind of off my rocker a little bit and Seth might have to pull a little bit more for me. But
No.
I know Chloe off her rocker. But I just feel like that's the beauty in marriage is like we're two imperfect people just trying to do life together and, we make sacrifices for each other so that we can be 100%. And regardless of how that looks like, I just feel like that's a really important aspect of marriage. But I feel like in an unequally yoked marriage, I feel like there's a lot of controversy around that. Like, God doesn't want me to be unhappy in a relationship, which all of that is true, but God hates divorce and it's unbiblical almost. I mean, obviously, if you're like getting abused or,
cheating,
yes, absolutely. Definitely don't do that. But if it's just like you have a great marriage, you're just unequally yoked. I'll pull out some scripture here from some receipts. And I feel like this could go both ways for husband and wives, but it's 1 Peter 3, I believe 1-5. Wives, in the same way, submit yourselves to your own husbands, so that if any of them do not believe the word, they may be won over without words by the behavior of their wives. And I feel like husbands and wives can kind of be interchangeably used in that verse. Loving your husband or wife the way that Christ instructs us to love our spouse, showing them grace, all of those things, I feel like in the end, if it's God ordained, like your marriage is God ordained, I feel like your partner will be won over and not by anything that, you've specially done, but it's just loving them the way that they deserve to be loved and the way that Christ loves us.
Mm.
So how does one know, like if you're in the dating stage and you're trying to figure out like, is this my person? Are we equally yoked? walk me through like what that looks like. So like, how do you know that you know?
Okay. I think you will be able to tell pretty quickly if you are unequally yoked with someone when you're dating them. I feel like it doesn't really take much like investigation to realize like I'm not even on the same planet as this person. But I feel like as far as knowing if they're the one, you just kind of have to, one, pray about it, pray without ceasing over it. And I feel like just go back to your Bible. Like if you really need to see like where you're at with someone, if they're doing things, if you guys are doing things in your relationship, like get into your word to find out like if what God is telling you about this person, if they're the right person for you. I mean, I can say like I didn't really have to struggle a lot in that department.
Yeah, you were apparently in love with him since what, high school?
Oh yes, I was so in love with him, and he didn't want nothing to do with me. But he figured it out. But we were off. It would have never worked out. You know, I truly, truly, truly believe that it's all in God's timing. Like we started dating at the perfect time. Like had we started dating in high school, it would have been probably a hot mess express. But it all worked out perfectly in the end. You know, I knew he was my person, but he figured it out, so it's good.
Can we talk about too, like how dating has been kind of restructured in today's culture?
Dating
Like,
sucks in
my
today's
gosh.
culture.
ask better questions when you go. Like dating is meant to date to get to know the person.
Yeah.
And so you ask the question, how do I know?
Mm-hmm.
I think early on we should be able to tell somebody's
Yes.
priorities, what they're into. And you just mentioned like at the time, like we were kind of doing our own thing, figuring life out in a sense, growing up, maturing. And so then in God's timing, he made a way for that. And so I think we're so anxious in today's culture. We are so, we want what we want now, but then there's also the pressures of marriage on a dating relationship. Like we've taken the terms boyfriend, girlfriend, and we've placed like a marital covenant around that when realistically that's not God's design in the first place. So now there are people feeling the pressure or the weight of what marriage is supposed to be. But when you prepare yourself and you get to know the person and you kind of see the fruit up front, that can better prepare you and enjoy the excitement of what marriage will be one day for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think, and I think if you are dating and you're not married yet and you see like, hey, there's an unequally yoked partnership happening, even like through the first few dinners or movies, whatever dates you go on, like I wouldn't move forward. I think Scripture is clear.
Yes.
Because again, missionary dating is something that we try to do because we fall in love with the features of the person, and they have everything else we want, but their personality or their faith, their background, like doesn't align with what we're looking forward to. So I think one of the biggest pieces of advice we can give people is ask better questions.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the dating relationship, be intentional. Don't beat around the bush. Like and like just stop being dumb. Like our generation especially.
I would even go as far to say, like in regard to the missionary dating type thing, even if your partner turns into a believer and like, they go through all the things, that still doesn't mean that they're your person. Like if there's something off in the beginning, regardless of if they are, coming to Jesus and all these things, like that doesn't ultimately mean that they're your person anyway.
Yeah.
Praise God that you brought somebody to Jesus, but that doesn't mean that's the person you're meant to marry.
I'm telling you.
Did you like that?
If I believed in female pastors,
Please,
Chloe
no,
would be
I would
on the
not.
list. I do want to ask, going backwards to, you mentioned the role of marriage in Ephesians 5, and I love it.
5.
But from a woman's standpoint, when you hear that word submit to your husband, where does your mind go? Because there's a lot of people that
Gasp.
Yes, gasp, or like they're just like, I could never. I've even heard comments.
Well,
recently.
today's society, we
Yes.
have like the liberal movement who are feminists who hate that word and think it's this patriarchy of men trying to degrade women.
Yes.
That's simply not the case whatsoever.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first and foremost, I'll say I have no. This is going to be a really hot take. I already know it. I have no problem with the patriarchy. Whoever was fighting for women's rights back in the 60s or whatever.
Period.
I'm
episode
really
in
mad
itself.
that they did that. I'm mad that they did that because I wish that I could be at home with my children. I wish
Wait.
that. I'm not pregnant.
You got children?
No.
Y'all,
When
she
the
she
time
fooled me
comes-
the other day.
I did.
I was almost in tears.
I did.
Well, I was in tears selling it so
It was
hard,
so
and
good.
he totally believed it. But yeah, I think I want women back at home. I want women back in the homes. I want them back with their kids. I want to homeschool my kids. My husband hates that idea, but I want to do it. But, now I'm a bank teller and working that 9 to 5.
Today was your first day.
Today was my first day.
Call her Dolly Parton. Remember that 9 to 5.
I don't know that that's Dolly Parton.
That's not Dolly Parton's
I
song?
think it's Reba McEntire. Oh, man. We're going to have to fact check.
I'm culturally I'm uncultured.
Yeah.
It's Dolly. Right?
I don't know.
It's got to be Dolly.
I'll check.
It doesn't matter. Anyways,
Anywho.
back to your original question. What was it? Submission.
Yes.
Okay. I guess because I believe that, like, superficially, that submission is not really an issue for me. Like, I don't want to be the leader of my home. Like, I don't desire to be, like, in control of the things that are going on in my home spiritually, mentally, financially, any of those things. I don't care to be that because, one, I know that role is specifically reserved for my husband, but two, like, I desire to be, in line with God's design for marriage, and that is my greatest desire. So submission is, it's hard for some people. Just the word itself, they're like, ugh, it makes them queasy. Me personally, it doesn't. Like, I'm fully and willfully capable and able of submitting to my husband because that's what God calls me to do.
Yeah, and I you nailed it. Like, seriously. And when we understand the image of that, of what marriage is, Christ, what am I doing? I haven't touched.
You're getting really close to it again.
When we understand what marriage is, which is a picture of Christ and his church, Christ and his bride, we better understand what that submission means, because as the church, we submit to Christ and his lordship. He is the head. And so in the household, God has designed it this way to not downgrade women. Right. It doesn't say one's the head and one's the foot. Rather, it puts us in our proper role for this life. And frankly, as you said, like, there's a joy in that. And I love what you said in regards to this is God's design. I willfully submit to that first.
Yeah.
Like, not because it's of a man in this world, but rather Christ has set the standard, and I joyfully, just come along for the ride for it. So I love that.
Right.
Snaps.
I'm not married, so I got nothing on submission
It's okay.
other than that
You're going to be
leftist
the
women.
head of your household one day, and your
Right.
wife is going to willfully
Right.
submit
He
to
loves
you.
it.
God's
He
timing.
loves-
Yeah, because
does
I'll
have-
crack a whip.
He does love control.
No, that is not being the head of your household, Coleton.
We will
That's
put
the-
her
that's
to
the
work.
word that-
She will be put to work.
See,
Are
this
you
is
gonna
the-
let your
this is
wife
where
stay
people-
at
Just
home?
kidding. Huh?
This-
Are you going to let your wife stay at home?
Oh, I would love for my wife to stay at home.
Like, you want to stay at home wife?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Can you talk to Seth, please?
Like, hey, you need to do better as a
I
husband.
beg him, like, all the time. And I just started my first day
But-
on my job, and I'm sitting here like, can I please
But
quit?
you know me, like, in the political world, I definitely don't want my kids going to public school or even private school now.
Yeah.
So I definitely want, but I also want to be involved in, like, the house too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't
Which
want to
that's
just be like
important.
the 9 to 5 dad going out. Thankfully, I have a remote job, so that would help if it still stays like that. But I don't want to be out 9 to 5 and then come home and go to bed. That's dumb, boring.
Right.
I mean,
Next.
I just think and that's how people are viewing, like, they have a certain thing in their mind of how it's supposed to be. Like, the man is going to go work 10,
Make me a
12-hour
sandwich,
shift, come home,
woman.
go to sleep. And mom's going to raise the kids. Those kids are going to be her livelihood. And, I just think we miss it. Where we have a picture. I like what I want to piggyback off what Chloe just said, because oink, yeah. When we joyfully pursue Christ, like in our relationship with him, then we joyfully pursue what biblical marriage actually is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we have an understanding of God, it shapes everything else in this world. And so when we properly view him and seek the joy that he offers to us, then there is a joy in the things that he gives to us, like marriage, like kids, like jobs, all such things. And so, again, we say it all the time on here, but like when we view God, how we view him is the most important thing about us, because then we can have the view that Chloe has given to us on marriage, whether we are sacrificing as husbands or submitting as wives. Both of those concepts, when we run the race that God set before us, is such a awesome picture. But again, you have to know Jesus to know and understand what he means by that.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to sneeze. I don't have to now.
You're welcome.
So we jumped from equally yoked to submission. That was quite the big jump. We didn't even get to engagement yet. So how long should engagement be? Are we fans of like these long
No, son.
6 month?
I got
engaged for a year and a
engaged.
half.
I got
Not a
engaged
fan.
and married in 4 months. I mean, that
Mm.
was the best decision I've ever made.
Kudos.
Which I don't really think that there is like, there's no specific time. I think it's really and truly like whenever you can do it,
Yeah.
like whenever you can, financially, one, just saying this out of left field, if you're planning on getting married, do not go into debt for a wedding. Like, that is the stupidest thing ever. Like, if you want to have the big hoorah, that's fine, but do it when you're in a place that you're financially able to, because it will be the stupidest thing you ever did, paying for a big wedding. And
Isn't that
love,
like the bride's family's job?
well, it doesn't always work that way for everybody, but
I don't have to worry about that.
yeah, but at the same time, but it just depends on, who you're marrying. But if you are going to be paying for your wedding, don't go into debt for it. Anyways, back to the original question. I don't think it really matters. I don't think that there is like some perfect timing that you need to like set out for this, that, and the other. I think it's whenever you feel led to get married. I believe in getting married as fast as possible, but if you don't have the means to, then it's okay. I don't think it's wrong to wait a year, 2 years. I don't see any problem with that.
I agree.
I just don't understand like the people who are like, I want a long engagement. Like, what's the point?
I've never heard somebody say that though.
I don't know that
I
I've ever
have.
heard that, but
I
not
just-
me.
I don't really understand it. I mean, we had a long one obviously, and it was because
Second thoughts.
She
Jordan had second thoughts. She was really trying to see if you were the one,
right.
and here we
Yeah.
are.
She had a year and a half to decide that while we were dating, but
Oh,
No,
so
I
you only
agree.
dated a year and a half too.
we dated a year and a half, and then we were engaged for a year and a half.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
So my next question was like, is there a certain amount of time that you should date before you get engaged?
No.
Because we know people who've gotten engaged just like that.
I don't think there's I like what she said. There's no timetable. It's not about quantity. It is about the quality though.
Yeah.
And I do agree that you should be ready for that next step. You won't. I do hate when people come to me, especially right now. We're married, and the desire is to have kids now,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody's always saying like, "Hey, enjoy the next few years first," or they say, I just don't think you're ready," and I hate that because I don't think anybody's ever ready for such
Exactly.
things.
I don't like the enjoy the next few years. I think that's such a selfish take. Like, my desire is to be a father and have a family. My desire is not to travel the world with my wife before I start having kids and start having a family and start taking care of a family. I think that's just like a selfish take.
I think God gives and God takes, and I think we need to stop trying to play it in our own. Like, yes, it even says in the proverb, like, He makes our path straight for us. Like He is guiding our steps, and so along the way, like, yes, while you're married, go on the trips, do it, but like don't be like, well, I'm gonna plan to have kids like in 3 years from now. Just do it. Like,
Yeah. Literally.
yeah, like
Literally. Do it.
I mean, I hate timetables.
I do too.
yeah.
And I don't know, like whenever me and Seth first got married, I was like, oh, we're definitely going to wait 2 years. I was like, in which I do think it is important, especially like getting married. Like, this is your first time living with somebody. Like, you have just made this new covenant with this person you've never, been living with in this way. I do think it is important to, have time to learn each other and grow with each other on a deeper level than you were just before when you were dating, and, learn each other's like little ticks, just like things like that. But I don't think that there needs to be a timetable on like when you start having kids. If you're ready, I mean, that's fine if you're not ready. I don't think you're ever gonna be ready, but I definitely have a different outlook now. Like, now I'm like, I'm ready to be a mama. Like, I've always wanted to be a mom, and I thought I wanted to wait longer, but I no longer desire that. Like, I'm ready to be a mother. So,
Amen.
you first, though.
To the men. I love that.
Did you hear?
What'd you say?
You first, though. Not to be a
Rock,
mother,
paper,
but a
scissors.
father.
No, yeah. When the Lord gives, that's kind of the mindset now for us.
Oh,
Same.
let's get juicy.
Okay.
What are our thoughts on birth control and marriage?
I feel like you're going to hate my answer.
I don't have an issue with birth control. I think
All birth control?
I don't know
What's
all
all?
what that means.
Like the pill, IUD,
I don't
the
have
bar.
any stance except for a pill.
Hmm.
I don't have any stance except for a pill. I guess because, like, even as a woman, I never really did much research. Like, I got put on birth control whenever I was probably like in middle school or something. Like, also don't think that middle school girls should be on birth control. I mean, I understand that there are girls that have, sorry guys, like terrible menstrual stuff, and you know,
PJ doesn't know what that is. It's okay.
but I mean, I feel like just depending on, it's a case by case thing. But as far as marriage goes, I don't think that there's a problem with it. Like, as long as you're like sharing that with your spouse, like, hey, I'm on
Yeah.
birth control, or hey, I'm not on birth control. I feel like as long as you're sharing that with them and they don't have a problem with it, I don't think it really matters.
Is it playing God?
No,
No, I don't think so.
I think that question in itself, it shows like
How little we are. Like, we
Yes.
cannot play God with a little pill.
I'm just playing devil's advocate
I
here.
know you are.
You
We're not
always do.
attacking you.
Gosh, it feels like it. I mean, I'm against all birth control.
We
Not
know.
because I think we're playing God, but it messes up hormones, and I just don't.
I think
Yeah.
I think it is
Mhm,
I think
mhm,
it is a
mhm.
personal like Chloe said, I like what you said, like don't hide it from your spouse. You need to be on the same page with these things. That is a constant prayer and a constant conversation to have in that, because there are a lot of side effects. I mean, Jordan has expressed that before about, sometimes the way it makes her feel.
Yeah.
And that can be alarming to hear. And so
Yeah, it's a money-making industry, of course. It's the medical field. They want to get you hooked on it and get more money.
well, it's
from
like
it.
is it like any other drug too? I mean, you think
Right.
about Adderall for the ADHD.
This is why I don't go to the doctor.
at all.
I have not been to the doctor since a year ago when I
Dude just
busted
takes
my chin.
NyQuil, and I know you.
I took NyQuil and
I
hallucinated.
know you take Tylenol.
I was gonna say,
I
do you
do
take
not
Tylenol?
take Tylenol.
You don't take like what do you do if you get a headache?
I have
Goody
aspirin.
powder.
What's the difference in aspirin and aspirin's just a blood thinner?
Yeah, but it has
Got
acetaminophen in it, but it's not the Tylenol.
What?
They didn't say ibuprofen. They said Tylenol.
Advil is what we have. Like that's
Yeah.
what we usually take.
I take children's Motrin
You know what I miss?
Children's.
in liquid
You know what I
form
miss?
because I can't take
The
pills.
Flintstone vitamins.
Of course you do.
Oh, so good.
Why are you judging my liquid vitamins or my liquid medicine?
Yeah, I'm judging.
Well, I
Listen to
can't
last
take the
week's
pills.
If you want to
episode.
talk about vitamins on the show, get my mom on here.
We are going so off track of marriage right now.
Yeah,
I don't
no,
want to
this
talk about
isn't
my
marriage.
vitamins.
This is birth control.
Yeah, but
The title of this is going to be Marriage, Birth Control, and All Other Things Between.
Right.
living inside of our brains.
Yeah.
right
Welcome
now.
to our brain cells.
How to live
A
a
brain
healthy
dump.
a
marriage.
combined 2.5.
How to live a healthy marriage life. That is what a great name. Tying in the medical, the spiritual, the emotional.
Okay, so then
That's good.
we had a question that we were discussing as well in this. Should the government be involved?
Oh
in
yeah, my
marriage?
question that I wanted to ask. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I took it because you decided to bring it first.
Because
So-
I always wondered, so
yeah, just go ahead and cut me off.
you already asked the question. I'm giving a follow up. So I'm very limited government. I don't like the government in every aspect of our lives. So my question always was, is the government necessary to be in marriage? And Chloe,
So
Had
we
an answer.
actually, we had this question the other night at the Coffee and Convos. I won't say her name. I don't know if she wants me to say it, but a girl that was in my group,
She doesn't listen.
actually wrote the question.
to the
She doesn't
podcast.
listen.
No.
Well, she might now
She
that I'm
says
on.
she doesn't.
And I was like, okay, well, what do you actually mean by this? Because when she originally asked me the question, I thought that she was meaning like, what does God define as marriage in the sense of like the roles of marriage. So I like pulled out Ephesians 5, and she was like, no. She was like, do I have to be legally married? And I kind of was stumped, to be honest, like when she first said that. And the only thing that I could come up with, I guess, like in that moment was, we are made one flesh with our spouse. We are tied to them and always, and bound to them in all ways. And so I think that if we are going to be bound to this person in all ways, we should be taking it to the full extent as to the law to be bound to them. We should be bound to them physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and legally. And she was saying, like in the Old Testament, like they would have like ceremonies, but, there was no like legal bounds. And so I was saying, well, we have a new avenue now to add on to that. So we should be taking it to the full extent of the law. But that question kind of like stumped me a little bit. So I went home and did a little bit of research. And what do you know? I found the answer in the Bible. Really? Right. Romans 13:1, it says, let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. The authorities that exist have been established by God. Therefore, if the law is telling us to be married, we need to be legally married.
Mm-hmm.
You should be legally married. I don't think, especially today, now that we have the abilities to be legally married, that God is going to recognize a biblical marriage as one that has not been legally bound.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I always thought, I went back and forth on the issue of whether or not the government should be involved in it. But the more I thought about it, it's like, it holds people accountable now.
Absolutely.
Because you're not just like going around sleeping with whoever and say, oh, well, I made a covenant with God, staying with people, and then, just hopping next week to the next person. There's legal ties to it. So there's accountability. And if you're wronged in that marriage, there are consequences, legal consequences that come with it. So I'm okay with this one.
I agree with everything she just said. And piggybacking off what you just said about
Oink, oink.
I love
we
that.
needed like a button to
I
press.
need a oink
Staples
butt.
button.
Yes.
Oink, 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 oink.
We talked about this because then anybody could just
Fornicate.
We are going to drain the swamp in Washington, D.C.
What? That is not the oink button.
It's like a button.
But it's too
that
long.
Is your button.
They say, is Donald Trump an intellectual? Trust me, I'm like a smart person.
This is not an oink button.
No, it's not. Some people consider him a pig, though.
Oink.
No, he thinks Rosie O'Donnell's a pig, and I tend to agree.
By the way, it was Dolly Parton for the 9 to 5.
What?
By the way.
That's my brain. No, but we talked about this because we ran into something recently. I ran into a conversation with somebody where they said they knew somebody that said, hey, me and my significant other decided that we were married, and they're in a dating relationship with no legal bounds, and basically it's just to have sex.
Yes.
And so then
Nice.
They didn't have a ceremony either. I feel like God, also in the Old Testament, they were having ceremonies to bind marriage, even if it wasn't legal.
And
if they're just looking at each other saying, okay,
Yep.
I commit to you, we're married, and we can fornicate all we want now, and
Yep.
it's not sin.
Way to
we don't
go.
want
Wrong.
accountability. And David even mentioned, though, like there was scripture mentions like where they would cut an animal in half,
Yeah,
and then
you had to walk through it.
the husband and wife would walk through, and they would say, hey, if we were to separate, allow this to be what takes place, because marriage is between a
Marriage.
man and a woman.
Women?
Whoa,
Question
that's
mark?
polygamy. That's
Polygamy?
Which
Mormon.
also
No.
the Bible,
Mormon.
Stop.
the Bible mentions polygamy, and people always get on that because they're like, well, what about David, a man after God's own heart? Just because it's in the Bible does not necessarily mean that that is the example that we follow as believers in Jesus.
Preach, preach.
So I'm like, well, it's just excuses at this point.
Yeah.
You can just point to anything and just say, well, this is justifiable.
Yeah.
But pretty much, I agree with you. I think the government is a safety net more than anything in today's culture for us to. And you said it on Friday night. You said, why wouldn't I
Yeah.
want to take every possible step I can to like
bind
make
myself to this person.
yes, like it's a covenant, not a contract.
Right.
And so
But
like,
doesn't it make people feel like they're too constrained in commitment?
Well, if
Oh,
you feel
look.
strained in commitment, then you should not be getting married.
yeah,
That's
look at the
good.
clock. Look at the time. It's a womp o'clock.
Right.
I do need to make
Right.
it clear that this is devil's advocate, not
He plays
My
this
actual
every
thought.
single day of my
Yes,
life.
I
By the
know.
way,
makes you a better
I'll be like,
person,
oh man, I feel
makes
like
you a
wait-
better thinker. You don't do a lot of critical thinking in your life. That just went to
Oh
black.
my
didn't it?
gosh, he's a pastor. What
Now
do you
he's
mean?
now he's just like attacking me.
Did
This
it just
isn't
go to
devil's
black?
advocate. Yeah, it did go black.
I clicked 4. There's no 4.
Oh well,
Devil's advocate, go for it.
What?
Devil's
I
advocate.
just asked. Like,
What?
doesn't it make people feel too constrained? And,
Oh, that was your devil's
yeah,
advocate.
committed.
what the government involvement?
Yeah.
Oh,
Which is like,
But I also think, like, going back to like seriousness and all, I think it's also very important too that we recognize that David said this the other night, and I was like, yeah,
yeah.
that the government doesn't define marriage. So while
Ooh.
we are,
Ooh.
yeah, while we are,
Oink.
legally binding ourselves to this person, like the government is not defining what marriage is. It should not define what your marriage is looking like.
Okay, so on that note, that's
Mm-hmm.
why I always like question: does government have an involvement in marriage? Because government doesn't define marriage.
Right.
So,
Romans 13:1, by the way.
which is
come on.
I just read it.
okay. That's the submit to governing authorities.
Mhm,
Okay,
mhm.
so then when I would say that, people would bring up, well, like same-sex marriage, which we all three know that that's not a marriage biblically.
Take it back to Genesis.
So then how do we go about that? This is so off topic from
because
normal
but
marriage.
she pointed it out already. Like we have to look at God's design for this.
Yes.
And then in that, which is we go all the way back to the beginning, Genesis 2:24. It is between a man.
We know that. I
one
said
man
we know
and
that.
a one woman.
Yes.
Yeah, but like that.
There's also a verse, I cannot remember it for the life of me, but it's talking about submitting to government bodies, but also being aware that, like, when there's a line that's crossed into sin, like, we do not cross that. It's in Romans somewhere, I believe. We went over it in Sunday school not that long ago. But yeah,
It's probably.
I don't
in
know if I'm
that
going to find
same
it. It's
ballpark,
probably
yeah.
right here in the same kind of like ballpark of place.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, we are to honor our governing authorities because like God is the ultimate authority. And we were talking about this kind of too, is like in regards to who we should vote for. Like, yes, we should be voting for like people that are closely aligned to biblical law. But, if the person we didn't vote for doesn't win, like, we need to be mindful that,
We don't go and riot and tear down the country
yes, but like
the other
Our allegiance is to Christ.
Christ.
At the end of the day.
Yes. And so while
voting
I believe,
very good.
I submit to this government, but only, it doesn't get my full submission
Yeah,
in the way that Christ does. Does that make sense?
I
that's
agree.
good.
I love it.
Side note: the Supreme Court is about to hear a case to possibly overturn same-sex marriage.
Praise God. Yeah.
God willing.
Wow, where are we
And
going
now-
from here?
and
I
here's
mean,
the thing,
I'm
is,
sorry.
like,
I
we-
just don't have a whole lot of faith in our government these days. So,
Well, rightfully so. But also, like, we don't say that either to say, like, put it in somebody's face. It's we want to turn people to Jesus
Right.
and help them see, like, you're not living in freedom right now just because you have an attraction to the same sex or whatever it may be in this world. Jesus has set the tone for us, and when we surrender our life to Him, when He says, "Come to me," the invitation is there. Reflecting back on Sunday morning, the invitation is to be equally like for Him to place His yoke on you, and then walk at His pace and walk by faith with Him and experience true joy in this life and all such things. So, yeah, that's all
Very
I got.
good, Pastor.
Go on.
Anything
Asta.
else on marriage? Marriage.
Marriage
Um,
is what brings
Oh.
us together.
I kind of had one
today.
more.
Okay.
If you want to, we don't have to.
Yeah.
Identity in marriage.
What?
Identity and identity in marriage.
What's that?
I guess kind of like, I'm going to try to say this without making it seem like I'm talking about people, but I feel like it's very often seen that I don't really know it as far as like men, how men view this, but I guess as a woman, I feel like I see a lot of women, plural, that kind of put their husband on a pedestal in regards to Christ, putting their husband first and Christ second. And I just feel like that's really, really troublesome foundational wise, because if you aren't putting Christ first and foremost in your life, you are, one, automatically going against the original design of marriage in the first place. And two, if you build your house on your husband, an imperfect human, he's going to fall. And, you know, I think somebody asked me about this the other day, and that's kind of where it came from. But I was saying, you know, it's really important because, like, one, Christ, he is my strength and he is my refuge, okay? Whenever I am weak, I run to Christ. Yes, I come to my husband also, but there are times whenever I go to him and I'm looking for strength and refuge, and he is going to fail me. Like, by nature, he is human, and that is going to happen. So if I put him at the cornerstone of my life, and whenever I come to him with trouble, like, it's going to lead to failure. But if I put Christ at that cornerstone, and I also kind of let my husband kind of be like that next stone in line, well, he can fall, but my house still stands. You know what I'm saying? And also, like, in regards to burdens, like, yes, we are called as believers not to carry any of our burdens alone. Like, we are to share them with fellow believers, our spouses, all the things. But if we rely solely on other humans to help carry those burdens with us, again, we are destined to fail, which is why we are to carry them to Christ first, so that in the event that we are failed by other humans, like, we aren't going to ultimately fail. And I just feel like that's really important, that we are identifying ourselves in marriage not as first and foremost, I'm XYZ's wife. First and foremost, I am a child of God, and I am a servant of Christ, and I go to him first and my husband second, or my wife second.
PJ's going to get up and start running around.
I just love everything you've said today.
Thanks.
Seriously. I don't even,
There's a lot of wisdom for such a young... You're younger than me, right?
Yeah, I'm also a really young believer.
Young believer, younger than me, and also newly married. So,
Yeah,
like, you're not
we've only
married
been
for
married-
10 years.
Remember when you
We're
said,
married
like,
for 8 months.
what are the signs to look for? This is an example, like a young believer, young in the faith even, and yet, like, you could see it.
Spiritual maturity.
Yeah, and it's discernment. It goes back to discernment.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
so I don't even know. I think you've said everything on that note. I have no. It reminds me of the song "Though You Slay Me," because we have to ask the question, like, if God took everything from me in this life, including our spouses, would we still praise Him?
I would. I mean, I won't. Like, it's going to be so hard. I love my husband so much.
Yeah.
Like, I can, like, at this moment in time, like, if he were to die, part of me feels like I would die too. But, like,
Because you're one.
yes.
And you're mourning. Like,
Yes.
the Bible allows a time for every single thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jesus wept. Hello. But, right?
Come on.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, come on. That's what she would say in the pulpit. Too. Yeah, come on.
Come on.
Anyways.
But, like, if God didn't take me out of this world, but I would make it through eventually. I mean, I would mourn for a very long time.
I'm going to worship through it.
Yeah. I know my God
Is that-
can do it.
What's her name?
Tasha Layton.
Tasha.
Yes.
That's good.
Shout out.
I want to call her Natasha for whatever reason.
Natasha.
Dude, she was so good.
She was.
I really enjoyed her.
I did too. I
And
really
she
want.
was such
I
a
like taking
personable
pictures
person.
of her.
I didn't talk to her, but I
What?
want Charity Gill to come
What'd
back.
you say?
I said I like taking pictures of her.
Hmm.
I was the photographer at her concert.
Thank you for the
Oh,
context.
is it the one where you got called out
I
by?
did it again. I put it on black screen.
That's where
Um,
Bryce fell.
Oh, yes.
That's
when
where
I got-
Bryce fell, and Colton got called out by
Clara.
Miss
Miss Clara.
Abercrombie.
Yeah,
Miss
that was
Clara.
hilarious.
I didn't like that.
No, that was so funny because you
My
were
face
the
is
only dude in that whole
red.
place, and me and my friend Hope were
She's like,
literally
you get what I'm saying, right?
crying, laughing.
This guy over here knows exactly what I'm
And
talking
you're
about.
like, you had the
Right.
camera. You're
It's
just like,
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I've clicked this black screen twice. So Raina, if you're still listening, I need you.
Why is it on me right now?
See? Exactly. If
I was just
y'all
sitting here and I
can't
was like,
see,
I
right
was
here
looking at the
is
camera
the
like-
buttons to switch the cameras, and I just can't do it all myself. And then when you're eating the mic like you're about to right now, Raina can sit over there and adjust it. But I can't do that from here. I got rapid fire questions real quick before we end.
Okay.
You kind of alluded to it. You did. What should girls look for in a guy? Go.
Oh man. First and foremost, they should be Christian. They should be an actual Christian and not a lukewarm Christian. You
Preach.
know what I'm saying? They should look for not just like spiritual maturity, but just like being a mature dude. Like, you'll notice
That's
it
not
pretty
you and I,
quickly.
PJ.
No.
Yeah, not us.
You'll notice it pretty quickly, especially when they're around other guys. Like if they are
Right. Exactly what I'm saying.
if
here.
they're immediately like, "Oh, I don't care about you. I'm with my boys," like blah blah blah. Like I feel like that's a
That's
little
like South Carolina.
a
Man.
note to make. I know. And Seth is honestly the same way, but he kind of broke that habit because I was like, "Come talk to me."
Should they drive a squatted truck?
Absolutely not, ladies. If you're listening, please run as far away as you can from a man with a squatted truck. A truck is fine. It's classy even. But if it has any type of crazy unstock rims or it is leaning too far forward or backward, you need to run. All capital letters.
PJ,
What?
what do you guys look for in a girl? What are you doing? Are you typing things
No.
down?
I feel
that
like
are
he's
said?
making a
No, I
meme
was
about
looking
me
at
with
my
what I
notes.
just said.
You're looking at your notes of what to look for in a woman.
No, I didn't have that.
How about just
Or
talking
just
about
pull
Jordan?
up Jordan
Yeah.
qualities.
Yeah,
Sweet,
That's what you
kind,
need.
No one
loving,
can see that.
My wife. Don't look
patient.
for her.
I love my wife.
She is
I love my
probably
wife.
the most patient lady that I know.
Jordan?
Yes.
Do we know the same Jordan?
She is married to PJ. She must
I know.
be.
Try to go on
She
a
is patient with me.
trip across the country with Jordan.
Bless her, Lord.
Love her.
You
She
two
went with the
had
two
not
of
patient.
you.
Huh?
She went with the two of you.
know,
I think I was the most easygoing on that trip.
That's because you slept in the back.
Okay, they take that very out of context. I slept for like an hour here, an hour there.
Every
And
other
they put me in the
hour.
back seat too. So
I,
I was
we,
I like was Buckwood just staring. at me.
they did not put you in the back seat.
Anyways, what should a man look for in a woman? First and foremost,
What should
God.
I be looking for? What should Colton be looking for in a godly woman
Right.
to find a relationship that is going to be stable, that I can marry?
Godliness? Like you just mentioned a godly relationship, but that's the problem. Is so many guys are just looking at the physical features of a woman and not getting to know their personality and the characteristics that they have, and so. You've got to stop trying to pursue something because you see something on Instagram or social media, whatever it may be. Pursue godliness. See how they worship. See how they are around other people. How they react. How they are. Because at the end of the day, you want this person to come into your life and vice versa. And so you want to see, are they family oriented? Are they how are they when they're around a stranger? Are they uplifting? Are they encouraging? Or do they drag you down? And so I think more than anything, godliness and characteristics are going to be two things that you're pursuing in a person. And you already know what you enjoy. You're like, I love
West
Christ.
Virginia football.
Yeah. Now, do they have to be a football fan? No. My wife's a Clemson fan. I'm
Go
not.
Tigers.
Yeah. But if Chloe would have
No.
married Seth and he was a South Carolina Gamecock, I don't think that would have stopped her from marrying him.
No, well, I was a Gamecock fan before we started dating. And then I wore a USC Gamecock t-shirt over to his house whenever we first started dating.
And they burned it.
Yeah, and his mom ripped it off of me. I had a bathing suit on underneath, but she ripped it off of me and threw it into a fire pit.
And
What?
Chloe said, he's the one.
Yeah, I said,
Smooth
"Oh, I'm
talking.
gonna stay around here." I
Yeah,
love her.
She doesn't have to
She's
like college
extra,
football.
though.
She can just stay home while I go to the games.
What are you looking for in a woman?
Yeah,
Ooh, that's a good question.
full reversal.
Like
Go.
right now? Because like if a relationship came about, there's no stopping you. I don't think you're at a point where you're like, I'm going to wait a couple years.
No. If you date Colton, just be ready for a ring, like shortly after. By the way,
He's going to be like, all right, like the first date will be like, all right, I got about 10 rapid fire questions if you don't mind answering.
yeah.
I think you should get all the big stuff out of the way on the first date, because what's the point of having more
Give
dates?
me your first 5 questions. If you were to go on like a speed date, give me the 5 questions you would ask the chick on your first date?
Chloe's
Go.
going to tell you, you're going to scare her away.
Tell me.
The first would be like your testimony.
Okay.
Because everyone should have a testimony.
Great.
Whether it's great or bad. Second would be your political views because they should align with biblical views.
Yes.
Third, I'd probably ask just hobbies. In general, like, are we compatible? Do we like the same things?
I like cricket.
Huh?
That's what she said. She's like, big cricket player. You're like, really?
We'll send her back to England then. That was what, 3?
Yep.
4.
Are you American?
No.
Are you a U.S.
No.
citizen?
Have you seen these European girls? They be looking good.
Not the shrug.
I don't know if it's necessarily a question, but like, I need to see how they get along with my friends
Okay.
because I'm a very friendly person.
So that wouldn't be you'd just be like, second or third date. Hey, we're going over to so-and-so's house. And
like you'd have to get along with my friends because we basically see each other every day. So if you don't get along with my friends, then you're out.
Yeah.
I guess a question would be, like a family person, like how.
Are you family oriented?
Yes, that would be it.
Well, does it affect you if they came from a broken household?
family?
No, but I don't want a spouse who's going to just not like want to be around family at all. And then I'd probably just ask about like, what is your vision for being a mother? What's that look like?
Are you going to vaccinate our kids?
I don't know. She ain't gonna vaccinate. That's my call. I'm the head of the household.
Oh my
You're not
gosh.
vaccinating on all the vaccines.
I thought that was going to be one of the questions.
I mean, that
It
ties
probably
into
will come up. It will.
Well, that will come out.
It'll be a
come out- it'll come out
sub-question.
early.
That'll come out with the political question.
Yeah.
So, what about vaccines?
Everything's aligning, and then she's like, "Yeah, like I just
Yes.
really lean Democrat." And he'll be like,
Oh.
he'll be like, "I have to
The
go
bill,
to the bathroom."
the bill,
Can we
and
get
give it
the
to
bill?
her. You know, because Democrats feminism, so she can pay for it, and I'm gonna walk out.
So your response is to act like her,
right. Clock it, PJ.
I'm leaving.
right?
That's what they wouldn't do.
What?
I would leave. I don't know if it's not acting like her. I don't know if
It's okay.
I think I'd finish the date well, and then send them on their way. Hey, sorry, this isn't gonna work.
yeah, I'll lead her to Christ, and then send her on her way.
Then Deuce? What?
Yeah, guys. I mean, went on a date. That's gonna be his new YouTube channel. He's gonna go on dates with liberals and lead them to Jesus.
And then
a
Deuce
trap.
out, and then they're
It's
gonna
a
be
trap.
like,
It's called a trap.
Hurt this kid. He led me to Christ and then left. Not a good marketing tactic, I'll tell you what.
Oh man. Oh, by the way, shout out to
KKB.
Yeah,
KKB.
KK Beauty, the official facial sponsor of.
Don't we always say this about? We said Conway Nutrition was the caffeine of the podcast.
Yeah, but at least we got Conway Nutrition before. I have yet
you
to get
buy
a
that
facial.
hat?
No, she gave it to me.
Well, then there you go.
She said, if you wear it, I'll give it to you.
Promo.
Here we are.
Period.
Period, girl.
Any final thoughts?
Did you have another rapid fire
Ladies.
question? I feel like we kind of like went really too deep into it.
Oh yeah,
we did not
you
rapid
said you had
fire
a few
anything.
rapid fire questions, but
Oh.
I think
I can give you one.
Okay.
So what if you what if you just know people that you just don't think like they're equally yoked? What do you do about that?
It's kind of a loaded question, but I definitely think you should pray over it. And if you're not seeing any progress, then it's probably time to let the branch die or whatever.
Let
you
it
wanna-
die.
No,
let
no,
it
no.
die.
What if you
let
know
it shrivel
someone?
up. And what
Nope.
if I know somebody?
Yeah, what if you know of like a couple that you don't think are equally yoked?
I mean, depending on how close I am with this person, I would probably approach them in an encouraging way, I guess I would say, to be like, how are things going? Like, do you see this going somewhere? And if it kind of leads into like, well, I feel like they're not, equally yoked or they're not spiritually mature, whatever it is, I would say, do you want me to pray for you? Like, have you prayed about this? And just tell them to seek godly counsel about it first and foremost. Like, I would not say that I'm like godly counsel, like depending on who it was, I would say, go see one of your pastors, talk to them about this. And ultimately like let God be the authority over that. Don't do it just because like, you're like, oh, I really like this person, but like, they're just not equally yoked as me. Like, don't let it be about that. Like, you need to obey God and be aligned with his will. And I think if you're like blatantly disobeying him and you're having all these signs that they're not the one, then you need to leave.
You need to
You need
leave.
to leave.
You need to leave.
You need to leave.
That's good. That's good. Any final thoughts, Pastor?
Yeah.
Well done Sunday. Probably.
So good.
Thanks, guys.
My cup was so full. I'm not
You guys
lying.
have been filling my cup for the last 24 hours.
Yay. Happy Pastor Appreciation Month.
Woo!
I've
That's
been
so much my
contemplating what
gift.
I'm going to get you.
Me.
It's gonna be me.
I've been asking Colton what I need to get you.
I don't
So-
want anything.
We got a
Well,
plan.
I'm getting you something.
Words of
I'm
affirmation is-
I know words of affirmation is your love language, which is why I texted you the other day that you did such a great job.
We got a whole
I
plan.
think I
We
actually
just want
tried.
you to wait until the last day of October.
Yes.
I hate Halloween.
Me too.
That's my take.
Same.
Jordan's
Hate
like,
it.
because I was like, hey, I think a couple was like, we want to get together, and she's like, well, I work Saturday. I was like, well, Friday. She's like, that's Halloween. I'm like, who
Cares.
Who does stuff on like it's like Christmas now? Well, I get together with my family. We do a Halloween dinner.
Oh my gosh, I hate Halloween.
You guys don't go trick or treating still?
No, I haven't been
You
trick or
celebrate
treating.
Halloween?
I just steal candy from
Demonic.
Just kidding.
I'm just
That
That's
has
kidding.
been
Amanda
the-
Ben's
that has been
birthday.
a massive question. It is Amanda's birthday.
kids. You didn't know that.
I did.
I don't know.
That was
When this
scary.
episode drops, it will be her birthday. So happy birthday, Miss Amanda.
Happy
Mhm.
birthday. Love
we sing?
you. No.
Happy birthday.
You're singing alone.
We'll see you next week.